Hello friends, welcome to another morning here in Tenerife. I don't know which day it is, but I think this will be something like the 100th video that I've made since I started this course. I started making this course back in the beginning of February, and it's now nearly July, so it's another morning in Tenerife. They're all very similar, aren't they? So today we're going to think about some steps, the basic steps that we always need to remember when we're losing weight on a plant-based diet. And these are just the basics. These are the fundamentals. In the next session, we're going to look at some ingredients, some specific ingredients that are really good when it comes to weight loss. But these here are just the fundamentals. And the first one, which of course we have talked about before, but it is important, is to take it slowly, to really not rush into it. Sometimes this can work for people. There are people who, can muster up the self-discipline and rush into it in one go and change everything. But generally speaking, most of us don't work like that. And the most effective way is to be like nature and to just grow slowly, step by step, little by little. And if you go, it's true, isn't it? We grow more when we're not stressed and we're not having to muster up some enormous amount of self-discipline every day. But if you go to module 2, that's a whole section on habit change, and I go into more detail about how this principle of taking things slowly can actually be very, very powerful indeed. And in fact, that is the secret to lasting habit change. So yeah, take it slowly. The second one is that when we're on our new diet, we should try to eat a wide variety of foods. We shouldn't worry too much about whether we're getting all the nutrients that we need or not. Generally speaking, if you follow the advice in this course, you'll be getting probably have far more nutrients than you've ever had in your life before. It's certainly true for me. If I think about my diet now compared to how it used to be. But you see, I mention this because sometimes when you speak to friends, they might say, oh, where are you getting your protein? There's several sessions actually in this course about protein, and protein is certainly something that you absolutely do not need to worry about. You will be getting enough protein. I absolutely promise you that. The next one is not to miss out on meals. This is not, we're going on a plant-based diet, and we're going to be changing a lot of the foods that we've been eating previously for new foods, plant-based foods. If we're following the advice of nutritionists and we're getting plenty of fiber, we're getting plenty of vitamins, we're getting plenty of nutrition, then there's no need to miss out on meals because our bodies will react naturally, and usually the response is for us to lose weight, especially if we're carrying a lot of weight, because we're going to be cutting out all those saturated fats, and instead we're going to be adding healthy vegetables. So this is it's not a diet about going hungry, it's about a diet about becoming healthy in a sustained way. And that does not mean going hungry, because a diet in which we feel hungry is not a proper diet, and we will end up going back to our old ways. So don't miss meals. Number 4 is to make sure that we get plenty of whole grains. So these are grains that have not been refined. A lot of the processed foods that we eat today, a lot of the breads that we eat, a lot of the pastas, the rice is refined. So we want to be looking for whole grain foods, because the benefit of whole grain foods is they contain lots of fiber. And later in this module, there's a whole session on fiber, because fiber is so important. But yeah, make sure you get as many whole grains as you can for that lovely non-soluble fiber. Reduce oil. is the next one. So when we switch from a normal diet, so an animal eating animal-based products, to a completely plant-based diet, usually we will be cutting down the oil in our diet. But there's also oil in plant-based diet. So good sources of oil on a plant-based diet are avocados, nuts, but also sometimes we use a lot of oil in cooking, like olive oil or coconut oil. And in general, the less oil we can use, the better, especially if our objective is to lose weight, because oil contains a high number of calories for its volume. So only a little bit of oil actually contains a lot of calories. So try to cut down on as much oil as you can, without fussing too much about it. But if we can remember to cut oil, it's a good step towards losing weight. The next one on my list is to snack when we're feeling hungry. So this is a little bit the same as not missing meals. If you're feeling hungry, go ahead and have a snack. Maybe some fruit, maybe some veggies. Also hummus, which is in the next session that I'm going to do, is a handy food for making snacks. So maybe with a bit of carrot, we can use it, dip it in, eat the hummus with carrot or celery or something like that, because hummus is quite filling, but it's very nutritious at the same time. So that's a tip. But if you're feeling hungry, go ahead and have a plant-based snack. And the next one on the list is don't give up. Don't give up. It takes time to form a habit. Some people say that it takes 26 days to form a new habit. Others say it takes as long as 66 days to form a new habit. And it can be easy to throw in the towel and say, look, this is just too complicated. And that is why I highly suggest that we take it slowly. Because if we just change one meal at a time, if we say, okay, we're just going to do breakfast for this whole month, or if you want to go slower than that, just say for the next 2 months, the only thing I'm going to do is eat a plant-based breakfast. So you can concentrate on just finding the perfect breakfast for you, that's tasty, that's got fiber, that keeps you full for a while. Just spend the next 2 months just concentrating on breakfast and leave everything else as it is. If we did that, and then maybe the following 2 months we then concentrate on lunch, and soon by the end of the year you're finished. You're on a plant-based diet. So don't give up. And if you feel like giving up, maybe you're going too fast. Maybe we should just slow down a little bit. I know if I go for a jog sometimes and I feel, I'm getting tired, rather than stop, can just be an idea to slow down. Often just going slower makes all the difference. And the last one on my list is exercise. Yeah, I know. Everybody mentions exercise, and this is a module about diet. But we have to be honest with ourselves. We are made to move. Our bodies are made for movement, and if you can incorporate some exercise into your routine, that will definitely go a long way. And again, we don't have to do a lot. We can start literally with a minute a day for the first week, 2 minutes a day for the second week, and so on. By the end of the year, we're doing nearly an hour. So exercise is, again, exactly the same as diet. It's not about putting on our jogging shoes, rushing out the door and running as fast as we can, and then saying, oh my God, that was awful, I'm never doing that again. It's also about pacing ourselves. My sister runs a online shred. This is more, I think, for the ladies, but maybe there's some of you men out there interested as well. And she does 15 minutes every day. And the people who have been on her shred always report that they lose weight. So just 15 minutes can make a big difference, and I'll see if I can add some details about my sister's shred below on this page. So exercise if you can, and if you really don't like just the word exercise makes you shiver with anticipation of something horrible about to happen, just start with a minute a day. Everybody can manage a minute, and once you've done a minute, you're somebody who exercises, and now you can go on to the next step, which is 2 minutes every day. So bit by bit, this is the secret. Okay, hopefully I wasn't too mad this morning. I'm feeling invigorized. I went down to the beach this morning and had a swim. It was really nice, and I feel as though I've got lots of energy. So maybe I was a little bit over the top this morning. I hope not. Thanks for being here with me again this morning, and I look forward to seeing you in the next session. Have a nice day, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.